The man had only fired a simple employee, yet a streak of white hair immediately appeared on his head. Then, when he returned to the young woman the half of the sacred divination cup she had once given him, he instantly felt his entire body go weak, overcome by dizziness and a terrible headache. He simply thought he had been angered by the young woman, without realizing that all of this was the consequence of his own actions. In truth, the young woman had been blessed by the gods. 3 years earlier, when her grandmother was gravely ill, she had gone to a temple to pray. That was where the man noticed her. He immediately handed her his business card, inviting her to use her luck to help him with his company. He even swore that he would treat her grandmother like his own and provide her with the best medical care possible. From that day on, the young woman joined the company. Before every important decision, she performed divination for the man, and the company's stock price kept soaring. Until 1 month ago, when the company was preparing to invest in a multi-billion-euro project. That day, she cast the sacred cups 6 times in a row. Reassured at last, the man excitedly declared that she was his lucky charm. He even promised her an 80,000 euro bonus upon her return. From then on, she became not only the sales director, but also the official person in charge of the company's blessing rituals. But unexpectedly, barely 1 month later, her director position was replaced by the boss's girlfriend. Taking advantage of her status, the woman directly fired the young employee. In reality, all of this had been orchestrated by the man himself. He claimed he had been far too superstitious all these years, and that his girlfriend's return from abroad had finally opened his eyes. According to him, letting this young woman handle the company's major decisions for 3 years was practically feudal superstition. The young woman wanted to defend herself, but the moment she looked up, she sensed a mass of dark energy surrounding the man. She immediately understood that a terrible disaster was about to fall upon him. Without hesitation, she turned around and left. In the very moment she walked out of the building, another white strand of hair appeared on the man's head. Once downstairs, she directly called a mysterious person and informed him that the man had asked her to find another job. The other person answered with only 2 words, telling her to get into the car. Very soon, the young woman arrived at an even more powerful company. There, she was immediately handed a contract worth tens of millions of euros, with an annual salary of 10 million and a share of the company's year-end profits. Aside from the boss himself, she would hold the highest authority in the entire company. Stunned, she asked whether he was not afraid she might be a fraud. But the boss calmly replied that someone capable of turning a company on the verge of bankruptcy into a publicly listed corporation simply through her so-called rituals was certainly no ordinary person. Before officially taking up her position, he asked her to retrieve the other half of the sacred divination cup that remained at her old company, so she could completely sever her karmic ties with the man. Once the cup was separated, the man's luck would also be affected. The young woman fully understood the connection between the 2 halves of the sacred cup, so she immediately returned to the company to recover it, and at the same time demand her unpaid salary and commissions. But as soon as she came back, she saw the manipulative woman throwing into a trash the worn little charm her grandmother had sewn by hand. The young woman rushed to retrieve it at once, because her grandmother had stitched it carefully point by point, and it meant everything to her. Now she only wanted to take back what belonged to her. She declared that since she was no longer part of the company, they had to return her half of the sacred cup and pay her the 8 million euros in commissions from the previous month. The manipulative woman immediately produced a compensation agreement, accusing the young woman of using psychology to manipulate clients, destroying families, and severely damaging the company's reputation. Not only were all her commissions confiscated, but she was also required to pay 5 million euros in damages. The young woman could never have imagined they would go so far as to extort money from her.